clips have always been my and I'm come from everything from a social media marketing point of view. And I was like, this is the best way. So that was huge for me. I also emphasized video over audio, which is controversial in the podcasting scene. But I kind of was like, this is becoming TV. And I think that made a huge difference. I worked with a podcast that had much smaller numbers than other podcasts that I had worked with, like by a lot. Nobody really knew who they were, but they had a huge parasocial Patreon presence. And that's where there was genuinely made more from this podcast than I did from, huge ones with ads. So I think to me, that was really interesting and taught me all of that because I was like, this is easier. And I think, your question was just like, what did I discover during?
Yeah. Like what's made the biggest impact? What's the key move or mindset that's really made the biggest difference? I mean, it sounds like clips and being video forward is really kind of what's given you that unique success and kind of the unique value proposition that you have had as a producer. And, you spoke a little bit about like, hey, this is TV now. So let's talk about This is TV Now, which is a new podcast you just launched with Dane Cardinal. And it's about the culture, right? It's about the culture of creators. And I think it's really interesting. You two both, Dane has also been on the show. So for everybody, we'll have Dane's episode in the show notes. It is something where we, are seeing creators have this huge shift of being a product as like something that, you just had to come on and do your song and dance and then get paid to entrepreneur, right? So we're seeing that flip. And the way that content is created, like you're saying, video, people don't watch TV anymore. I mean, it's really, where is your attention in terms of video? It's YouTube, it's TikTok, it's Instagram.
Yeah, and it's going to keep, my opinion is that as we go on, like, I think clips are going to be the new TV show. So clips will be also how we find out about music. And I think short video, I think there's still a place as there is like for books and ebooks and cigarettes and vapes. But like, I think that it's just going to we're going to keep going into the direction of like short content that holds your attention and is almost like a mini mini show. And a lot of people hate that idea, but that's what that's what
we're seeing on TikTok. Well, that is number one, what young people want. And number two, we're seeing it on TikTok, right? A lot of my friends that are influencers, they'll have, a series of like, okay, this is my new series of, a story that breaks or a part 2 or join for part 3 or, something that goes on for 5 or 6, or it'll be, a skit with a certain character, or it'll be a specific theme, or, I mean, even astrology-based influencers, right? It's like, where's this placement in your chart for all 12 signs? It's definitely
that's in my algorithm. I'll tell you what.
Oh yeah. No, to all my astrology girlies, we know that you're dialed in. But it is so interesting in terms of the way that we're seeing content being created in these short form series, because, when you think about it, a traditional sitcom, apart from advertising and commercials, is 22 minutes, right? I think 21, 30 maybe. It might be 22 exact, but it's around there. And it's something where that's really only like 7 3-minute videos.
Yeah. I think the highest you can go on most of them are 10. Like TikTok is 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But
people's attention is shorter. So it's clips.
It's shorter. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. And I just think that's what people are consuming now.
And for long form, you don't want to be on a screen. You want to be on a hot girl walk, listen to a podcast.
Exactly. So there's that. But there's also like, I noticed there wasn't a lot of translation between people who loved our clips or follow us on social media and also like sat down and watched a full show. If that makes sense. Like,
yeah, 100%. It's two different media brands.
Totally. So
I've had clients that have podcast numbers and they're like, hey, we think our Facebook is doing a lot. And I'm like, you did 85 million impressions in the first quarter of the year. You have 2 separate media products. That's not
a really good way to put it.
Yeah, this is not a Facebook page for your podcast. This is a separate media product, and let's treat it as such.
That is brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, it's really the world that we're in is rapidly changing, but like, figure out where the attention is and create the brands around that, right? And maybe they're related, maybe they're sister brands, maybe they feed into each other, but don't just say that they're the same thing when they're not. Let's all,
Wow. I wish I knew you back when I was doing this, because I was so convinced. I didn't really realize that until I was in it, and I didn't really know how to to take advantage of our popularity there, especially
Yeah.
because like the people paying money are so behind that
Yeah.
it's like we're not making money from these clips. It's not really like converting. It's just
Yeah.
making people know who we are.